Hello, hello, hello. This is Caleb with Practical Daz Advice, and today we're going to do something a bit different. Change is good, so we're going to embrace some change, and I want to talk to you about some trends that I see, especially with Daz, and in 3D in general, and this falls into video games and really anything that uses 3D, and that is this idea of photorealism. And a lot of what I've seen, a lot of what I've discovered about photorealism, I've really concluded that the misconceptions far outweigh the facts, and a lot of people have applied a lot of connotations to that word, meanings to that word that are not appropriate, and it leads to a lot of misinformation. And there's an innumerable amount of things that people have convinced themselves to be true that simply aren't true. First off, the first big misconception is that somehow we haven't reached photorealism. Of course we've reached photorealism. If you have a cell phone with a camera on it, you are capable of making things that are photorealistic, because that's what photorealism means. It's something that's as realistic as a photo. So if you take a photo, that's photorealistic. What people usually mean is something as real as reality. That is impossible, because as soon as technology is the medium, or any medium is applied in between your raw experience of reality and reality, it is not reality. It is on some level a interpretation or a symbolism of reality. That's what art is. It's a symbolism of reality. Even in cinema, or something like cinema, or in a professional photo shoot, there are things that make it, purposely or applied to it, that make it less and less real. One of the big things is hair lights. Something that if you're not involved in that type of industry, if you're not involved in photography or film, you may not know much about hair lights, but a hair light is a light you put on the back of a model or actor's head in order to make a slight line of light around their head, hair, and shoulders to separate them from the background. Well, reality rarely has a hair light. Very few people walk around inside an interior with a light behind them to separate them from the background, because that's simply not how you experience reality. Because reality is not a thing that can be communicated purely through any medium. What you are wanting is not reality when you create art. What you're wanting is a symbol of reality. You're wanting to take a specific part of reality and enunciate it and express it in a way that communicates and teaches your audience the thing that part of reality is. You want to bring notice to this one specific thing of reality. No matter what it is that you have, if you're trying to experience something, a medium will always lessen that experience less than reality. It doesn't mean that the experience is somehow of less value, but it is not the same as reality. When I was pursuing or learning photorealism in Daz, and I think you would agree that I made pretty good strides in that direction, that I did a pretty good job getting there. One of the things I was doing is I was watching a lot of lessons and a lot of tutorials from a professional photographer, and the thing that struck me was everything that he was removing from his photos. So he had professional photos of professional models, and then he put them into Photoshop, and everything he was removing, I was trying to add. He's trying to remove blemishes, I'm trying to add blemishes. He's trying to make his photos more 2D flatten them a little bit, and I'm trying to add depth to them. He's trying to soften lines, he's trying to sharpen lines, I'm trying to soften the lines, and when he's trying to sharpen the lines, I'm trying to soften the lines, and back forth and either which way, because it's not about gaining realism. He was not striving for photorealism. The very thing that in the 3D world we're striving for, those that have it at their behest, at their access in photography and film, they're striving to get away from it. They use makeup, they use lights, they use 3D, ironically, to try and remove themselves from reality as much as they can, because art is not about expressing a pure form of reality. That's not what art is about. Art is about teaching something, an aspect of reality. And so he was coming at it from one angle, and I was coming at it from the diametrically opposed other angle, and yet both of us were trying to reach something that was in between, and neither of us were trying ultimately to have photorealism. Photorealism, especially in the 3D world, is not about expressing reality. It's about selling you things. It's about money. It's about sinking money into more things. Because if I can make something pretty and then tell you that's photorealism, that word has so much power and connotation, you're going to buy it. You're going to want it. And if you're in this industry, if you're in this at all, in art, especially 3D art at all, well, you need more hardware, you need stronger software, you need more polygons, more high definition textures. When the reality is, no, you don't. You need more humanity is what you need. You need more essence. You need to stop trying to give this illusion that you're trying to reach. You're not going to reach it. Don't strive for photorealism. That's a dead end to strive for. You live in reality. That's where you live. It's not about showing people this absolute objective bias experience. That's not what art is about. Art is about teaching. Art is about showing something. So instead of striving for photorealism, strive instead to take a single aspect, choose a single aspect of an experience, a single aspect of reality. Focus on that, grab that, and then find an art style that is going to help you convey that. Find an art style that is going to, an aesthetic that encapsulates that essence of reality, that essence of experience that you want to share, that you want to teach your audience. That's what you should strive for. And whatever that aesthetic is, whatever that art style is, strive for that. But it's not that you strive for an aesthetic for the sake of the aesthetic. That's missing the point. It's that you strive for an aesthetic because that aesthetic communicates the essence that you're wanting to share, the substance that you're wanting to give to your audience. This is Caleb with Practical Dad's Advice. Thank you. Like and subscribe. Be at peace.